They break up. So what happens here?
Yeah, so Miller gets tinnitus,
or people say tinnitus. I think it's tinnitus. Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour, and I'm joined, as always, over Skype, once again, by my lovely, wonderful, patient co-host, Alexander Volz. Say hello.
Hello.
This is Every Album Ever, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. That's a new discography, more or less, per episode. And today, we'll be discussing every single album by
Mission of Burma.
Ooh, exciting. This one was actually requested by Dylan. I don't remember how long ago he requested this. I'm sorry that we're finally getting to it now.
Who knows if Dylan even still listens to the podcast?
There's a high probability he does not. We lose people. They drop like flies when they come to this one. Like, that's pretty badass. You guys like the Butthole Surfers. Oh, there's more episodes. Let's not talk about that Velvet Underground episode. But before we do any of this, what we're doing here, if you want to help support us, please, for the love of God, subscribe on youtube.com/everyalbumever. Rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you find us. You can follow me on Instagram at Pope Jesse Ventura for the next maybe week or two before I change it. I think maybe by next episode, it will be officially fully transferred over to Pander Monkey. So Pander Monkey as well. And Alex, you can follow him at
Mother Puncture.
And you should find a Spotify playlist on Mission of Burma. You can find a link in the description of wherever you're listening or watching, as well as everyalbumever.com. We got playlists associated with pretty much every single episode. And if you want to help us out, join the Patreon. We got bonus episodes, early access to a bunch of different episodes, discounts off merch, more merch coming, by the way. I'm excited for that. And if you want to jump the line when requesting an artist and not wait a literal year like Dylan waited for Mission of Burma, Tier 2 lets you jump the line. And we have another line jumping request coming in a couple weeks. That was the earliest we could squeeze it in because we have the scheduling is it's grueling. Scheduling is grueling. And as soon as I stop being diligent, I start falling off it and I start procrastinating, it just becomes another mess. But we will get to it. God damn it. So if you want to do that, patreon.com/everyalbumever. Okay. Mission of Burma. Do you have any experience with this band, Alex?
None. I think I've heard that's when I reached for my revolver when I was younger, and I was like,
fuck yourself, Alex. That song's great. God damn it.
And I've just never had any any reason to go back to them. So this was interesting, really, really dense music. I feel like I listened to 10 albums, but then I was like, no, this is a really reasonable discography.
It's very reasonable. I only heard the, I don't want to say quintessential, but the most famous, Signals, Calls, and Marches EP. I heard that growing up a lot. Like that was on constant rotation, and I never heard anything else. Like I didn't hear anything else. And I made such a I made it such a point to laugh at the New York Dolls for having more reunion albums than original studio albums when Mission of Burma did it way worse. Way worse.
Well, not in terms of quality, which we'll get to,
not in terms of quality, but there's literally 4 reunion albums and 1 original album. So it's like, they're basically they're more newer than they are old, even though they were super influential when they were, young men.
Really interesting developments and legacy they have here. So,
and even though I did listen to the early stuff a lot when I was younger, it didn't hit me till now how insane this music was. This was 81, 79, 80, 81, and it does not register as that. It is 100% 10 years ahead of its time. At least a cool 10 years.
Yeah, I feel like they get the punk label, but I feel like they're up there with like the Husker Du and Replacements. And
by the way, Alex, By the way, Alex, I got an email asking you to pronounce it Husker Du. It is Husker Du.
Husker Du.
Clearly, he does not read umlauts. But go on.
Husker Du. And the replacements.
But that is a very that's a very appropriate comparison.
Patreon us like I'll say $20, then I'll say it right.
Not you fucking. Who do you think you are, Alex? Who do you think you are?
I think I'm someone who has people giving us money, so
that's true.
I might as well try.
You gotta shoot every shot. But that's also funny because Husker Du and the Replacements, they were also around this time, but they didn't sound like this until like the mid to late 80s. Like these guys were still kind of doing things no one was doing, and I don't even know how or who they can be compared to around this time period, or who they even played with, because it's not that punky. I mean, it is, but like not really.
Yeah, I guess because it was so short lived, and it sounds like, kind of accidental, their sound, which wasn't represented of what they did live, which is I find very interesting.
Mm-hmm. I'm such an asshole. I fucking completely forgot that they have a doc, right?
Yeah, they do.
I'm so mad I didn't watch it. I just ran out of time. Everything got fucking... I've been having a lot of technical difficulties in my situation here. Otherwise, I definitely would have watched it. Is it available like easily?
Not that I know of. Probably
Never
not.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's on YouTube. Who knows?
I'm going to check right now. Yes. Talk while I Google this.
Yeah. Kind of had more of an impact on alternative music more than punk music. I feel like, you got your Pixies, your Shellacks, Guided by Voices.
Yeah.
Foo Fighters, a band that starts with an R that I won't, whatever. I said the REM. Fucking my favorite. Yeah, my favorite band.
They got requested, Alex. They got requested.
I know. It kills me every morning I wake up.
I know.
Also, you know where Mission of Burma's from?
Boston.
Fuck Boston.
There we go. And there we go. I can't believe I remembered that they were from Boston, because they don't feel like a Boston band at all.
It feels very Midwest.
Midwest, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because they seem like sweet, soft boys, which they definitely do. but the music screams Minnesota. It just really does scream Minnesota.
Yeah. So very, very interesting sound that they were able to create and evolve from. And I think I would have liked to see them live, like old them, not younger them.
You mean like, oh yeah, I mean more recently, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they I mean, we'll get to it when we get to it, but last the overview. First EP, actually, technically the first EP came out, the first 7-inch came out in 1980. And that's a part of the first big EP, which we'll be talking about. That came out 81. I'm already getting confused here. 1980, first EP. Last album came out 2012. That is, was it 5 albums, 1 EP, or 5 albums, 2 EPs? Jesus Christ. Why am I getting so confused with a simple discography? It's not that long, but might as well jump into it unless you have anything else that. Okay. So this is you'll find it's technically a combination of the first 7-inch, which is called Academy Fight Song, and the first EP, which is Signals, Calls, and Marches. You'll find them streaming, all condensed into one oddly ordered and track listing compilation. But this is Signals, Calls, and Marches, 1981.
Probably got some like Gang of Four influences going on for sure.
Definitely the drum sound, the production-wise, sounds like Gang of Four. Also, this song is gorgeous.
Yeah,
It's so beautiful.
Oh, if it was the Replacements, I'd fucking love it.
I love it.
No, it's still a good
Alex,
song. It's
really nice.
still a good song.
Yeah. So this is pretty poppy.
Yes.
Funky, nice. They have a whole different layer, though, a whole different personality. So this is like, it was more prevalent early, before they broke up the first time. It was more prevalent before they broke up that there was two sides to this coin that is Mission of Burma. There was that side, the nice, pretty, sing-alongable songs, and then you had the clangier, noisier, punkier, angrier side.
Yes.
That still had some melody to it, but it was just a little bit more abrasive. And I remember reading a long time ago that side of them, the more abrasive side, is what stopped them from getting anything.
Yeah, the Roger Miller, the bassist and vocalist.
Roger Moore's a guitar player.
Oh man, I fucked that up.
Clint is the bassist.
Fucking up already. They said they did a show and some girls like, oh, I love That's When I Reach for My Revolver. I can't wait to see you guys later tonight. And they're like, oh, well, like we're good. This is gonna be a great show tonight. Yeah. And no one clapped or applauded.
Pieces of shit. By the way,
anything.
Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
Oh yeah. That's because it was so different. Like the live performance is so different than what was recorded on this EP.
So I'm sorry, but best personal favorite. Like it's such a fucking basic. The thing is, like, yeah, I grew up with this and I love it, but it holds up so fucking. These are such well written songs, and I don't know. They're extremely accessible, more so than pretty much everything they'll do later on. And although I do think it's a little iffy, especially the way this compilation is kind of sequenced. And I don't think it's super consistent, and there's stuff on here that I still don't like. The highs are too high. There's too much here that gives me goosebumps. So before going into each like song specifically, the layout of what this is. So streaming, the first two songs are the Academy Fight song 7-inch. It's the song Academy Fight song, and then the song Max Ernst, which is fucking wonderful. And then two bonus tracks, and then the Signals, Calls, and Marches EP. I'm so annoyed by that track listing. Like, why not just start with the big EP and then throw on the little stuff at the end? Whatever. It's another Germs MIA situation where they just do it chronologically, even though it's bad for the record. But if you can get over that, I think there is much to be had here, as anybody who's a fan of the band will scream at you about.
I think Max Ernst, you get a taste of that chaotic live nature they were known for with the guitar solo.
Dude, yeah, it's fucking that song. It might be my favorite song of theirs. I can't say for sure, but like it's so that melody, especially toward the end when it's doing that Dada chant, Dada 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 Dada.
Yeah.
Max Ernst Dada.
Yeah, that kind of.
It's such a strange, melancholic melody to it, where it's like it kind of feels scary, but it's still very punky and fun and energetic. It's so. I wish there was. I can't find that much music like that. It makes me so happy.
Also, the referencing like a Dadaist painter. That's kind of what the band is. They kind of slap all these different styles together to get the end product.
Yeah.
So it's a little pretentious, but I can't say that because I used to DJ weddings with a friend, and we called ourselves the DJs of Dada because
boy, it's a good name, but still, boy,
it's pretentious. But
can you even see me down from all the way down here when you're looking down on me?
Oh yeah, it's this on a high horse right now. Devotion, I really love the way the drums sound on that. I think they're recorded so well. Like,
I'm not a fan of that song. I think it's really weird to put it at the beginning of the album. But the thing is, it has moments of sheer hideousness. And that's what I'll say about this band. There are moments where they just play the ugliest, most uncomfortable, annoying riffs I've ever fucking heard. And that's like a nice little introduction of what they will do later on. Execution is the other bonus track. I think it's fine. I think it's pretty cool. And then the EP starts, the actual EP that made them so influential, which is, Signals, Cause, and Marches. Like we were talking about, that's when I reached for my revolver, which I think is also, it's a great song title. I learned recently that is it's like a quote, but it's like a mistranslated quote. Like the full quote is by some guy and it's something, it's pretentious. The quote is, when I hear the word culture, that's when I reach for my revolver. That is mistranslated. The quote is something completely different. Mm-hmm. I'm only mentioning that here because that's like the first thing you read when you talk about the song. It's like, oh, it's a quoted from this and this. It's wrong apparently, which is news to me. But so that's the first song in the EP. The second song is Outlaw, which is like, yeah, those two songs back to back. It's like exactly what the band is. This fucking sing-alongable. Everyone wants to hear this. You'll hear it on alt radio, and then Outlaw, which is just, I got to put on Outlaw. I got to put it on.
I love it. I love Outlaw.
This is the other side of Mission of Burma.
Specifically, I think of a band like The Rapture would not exist without something like this.
I've never heard them.
They pretty much have one good album that the guy from LCD Sound System produced. So I guess I'll say, also, I can hear how, I forget his real name, but the LCD Sound System guy, I could also hear how this band influenced him.
Mm-hmm. Also, one thing that we haven't mentioned yet, that both guys sing.
Yes.
Roger tends to sing on the more his songs, and then Clint sings on his songs. So I just like Roger better. I think I like his voice better. I tend to like his songs more. He does write more songs, at least early on. I don't remember so much later on. And he has a more interesting voice. He's more of a shouter. He has a goofy kind of interesting voice, whereas Clint has a more straightforward indie, I'm just going to sing this straightforward type thing.
Yeah, they kind of flow together better when they're younger, but then when they're older, it's very, very obvious.
Their voices change quite a bit when they get older. It's interesting. But where are my notes? I already lost everything. Where is it? Okay, so I was talking about how Max Ernst, the song, gave me this fucking, I love it, like with this weird melancholy, scary feeling you don't hear too much with punk songs. The other song that does that for me is 1,000,000% Red. That song, it's 3 chords. It's fucking 3 chords, but it moves me like no other punk song. It's just fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say something else, but the great chunky bass playing on Red, just like really standout bass player playing.
Oh yeah. Like all across the board, Clint. His bass lines are so they cut through like very few bands I can at the top of my head I can think of where you hear the bass riffs as being their own. They're not just accompanying the guitar. They're not just backing up the band. You hear what he's doing. He's doing like arpeggiated stuff. He's doing chords. You hear exactly what he's doing. And they're completely distinct from the guitar, kind of like a Minutemen situation where the bass had this personality, guitar had this personality. I love his playing. I think he sounds great.
I thought you were going to say All World Cowboy Romance because really, holy shit. I
don't hate it, but
I don't know. I just think it's a neat instrumental and it's so like different from like their peers, whoever their peers are. It's like different from everything else on the album. It really, really stuck out to me. So
no, it's not like bad or anything. It's just long. It's kind of I feel like it kind of goes nowhere, but I do like it as a closer. It does have this sort of epicness to it. It's really noisy. And again, 81, I can't think of a single a single band that sounds like this. 81, not one.
Yeah, at least not like who they would be like touring with or hanging out with.
It makes me sad too. Like when I think about them, I think about Suicide, who was like, yeah, they influenced all these people, but they were treated like garbage. Like they had no support, and no one, like anyone they toured with, it made no sense. And oh yeah, another fucking banger. This is not a photograph. Like, it's punky. Like again, it's punky, but it's got more to it. It's got feeling. And the last one I have to mention is Fame and Fortune, which I think, God damn it, like I don't like that it's the third track on the EP. I think it kills the pacing because the first half I think is really slow. It's not really for me. And then the second half is really fucking cool. It does this really subdued thing. It has all kinds of, it's like, who the hell is doing this? I just think it hurts the pacing of the record. And that's also something I think that they do repeatedly in their career is they don't know how to sequence an album for shit. Every song is in whatever order. They just recorded songs, press shuffled, and said, that's the album. It really does feel like that for a lot of this. But this one, it just has so many songs that will stick with me for the rest of my life that I fucking love. I mean, I can't not recommend so many of these. I don't think it's a great compilation, but I think every song is pretty good. So this is, I can't turn my back on this one. I love it. Love it. And if there's nothing more to add, it's time to move on. Well, where are we at? This is crap. I'm trying to figure out. I'm using a Mac for the first time while recording this podcast. And I'm like,
it's weird.
Slightly different. So this is the first actual record. This came out in 1982. This is Versus.
I think this very like cool intro. That little the sound effects stuff.
It has a 50s vibe to it, the slapback reverb kind of thing.
Yeah, but then it's like it's gonna turn into like a cacophony of noise later.
It sure does.
It's a very, very interesting song, I think.
I like how long it takes for the vocals to come in.
Yeah, they're building. They build shit with their songs, even if they're three minutes long. They're like a mini punk or prog rock band. Yeah, they're like a very rough prog rock type thing. Fast, condensed.
Yeah,
straight to the point.
And all this shit, all these studio effects, all these reverse sounds. That's one guy. Who the fuck's the other guy? There's another guy on stage with them.
Martin Swoop.
Martin Swoop?
Yeah.
Okay.
He did the tapes, like sound effects and some percussion for them.
And the drummer is
Peter Prescott.
Okay, so it's gonna take a while before the vocals come in. So let's talk. Let's chat.
This is my personal favorite.
Very cool. Very cool.
I thought it was going to sound like Signals, Calls, and Marches. Secrets starts, and I'm like, okay. And like every song, I was just like, it's a very interesting album. I enjoy it a lot. Interesting. I thought it was, I mean, it does, at least production wise, very similar. The drums sound the same pretty much. Like it has that, these first two releases from them are so distinctly them. It's like, no one else sounds like this. They like, you can't mistake any of these songs for anybody else ever. Later on, when they reunite, it kind of changes a bit, but these two albums or these two records, I think are very similar. Not so much in style, but definitely in presentation. Yeah, I think like it may be recorded similarly, but the choices they're making are more weird, more bold. I think there is an attempt to kind of capture that live aspect of it. Mm-hmm. So, it's just so many like weird things. Like Term 2, there's some like Western, like some Western. Yeah, there's some like Western vibes to it. It's great. So that song is,
I love that song. It's like I think up to this point, it is for sure that guitar line is like the most ambient melodic thing they've ever done up to this point. Mm-hmm. Way quieter than we're used to hearing from them. It's very nice. What's the other one? Another fucking
like new nails. New Nails is fucking noisy as hell. Like,
I think that is the ugliest song probably ever.
I dig it. Yeah,
I hate it. I
dig it.
I mean, I like the second half a lot. The second half is real fun, but I mean, like, oh yeah, it's another thing. Fucking Roger plays a bunch of horns, like not like real horns. He could tell he can play, but he's just throwing horns all over the place. Just again, more cacophony.
Just trying to get like a wall of sound that's not like, like a Phil Spector wall of sound, but a wall nonetheless. Weatherbox is just like
beautiful.
Yeah, it's like I don't even think about punk rock when I hear it. It's just kind of jammy. There's a part where they say the sun is falling down, sky is falling down, and it's kind of like the Beatles at times. Not the full song, just like little pieces. That
song is a perfect example of what I was saying earlier about Clint's bass lines, where they just cut through so well. Like those, I'm putting it on. I'm putting on a little bit of that. This is a Weatherbox.
Yeah, like this is really fun.
That bass line is that shit carries the fucking song.
It really does. It really does.
God damn, it's good.
Ooh.
Too good.
I would love for if Rock Band was still a thing. I'd love for that song to be on Rock Band. That would be fun. That'd be fun to jam out on some plastic instruments.
For sure. Yeah. Deadpool. Little slow, but real nice. Very nice.
Yeah, a little slow. I think like the only time I really thought about like traditional punk rock was the Ballad of Johnny Burma.
Really? But I felt that way about That's How I Escape My Certain Fate.
Oh yeah, that is like one of their bigger songs too.
Is it?
So I think so.
Because it's like it sounds super 70s punk. Like it really registers as 70s punk, but it works. I like it a lot. I think it's great. But Ballad of Johnny Burma, that is another example. Like that's like them being as basic as they can. I could take it or leave it. It's not bad.
But even then, there's still some odd time parts in there. Yeah. So, and then on the streaming version, there's some bonus tracks on here, which is I can see why they're bonus tracks because I don't feel like they add to the album, but like
they don't hurt it.
No, like okay, no way. That
I think it's great.
Yeah, that's some high energy start stop shit. That's just
not to mention got song. Great vocal harmonies in that one too.
It does.
Actually, out of all the bonus tracks, the only one I don't care for is Forget.
Yeah, ironically.
Yeah, definitely not gonna forget that one. But also Mika is pretty good too. And like the thing is, what kept this for being because again, like I have the same complaint pretty much with every album. It's like it feels inconsistent. The pacing seems off, and I attribute that to Learn How, and New Nails for the most part. Like it just feels like jagged, like a very zigzaggy. But I don't know. I think I don't know. I bet this would probably be my favorite if it was just ordered differently. It's a thing like that where I like pretty much all these songs. It's just something as a whole. It doesn't register with me.
This was getting both positive accolations for me for a while until something else came around. I think, excluding like the bonus tracks, I think it's a pretty like flawless, easy listen.
Yeah.
If you're into this type of music, I can see why it's regarded so highly.
Yeah. Was not disappointed too much with it. When I was disappointed a little bit, just because I wanted more highs of Academy fight song in Max Ernst, but like that's just not what they're doing here. So in that sense, it's
no, they kind of throw the pop stuff not completely out of the window. It's still there, but it's not honestly, front and center.
It's not. And I'm also kind of glad that they went in that direction. Also explains why they didn't do well, but still respect it. But Alex's personal favorite, and now they break up. So what happens here?
Yeah. So Miller gets tinnitus,
or people say tinnitus. I think it's tinnitus. I can't say it, dude. It's too much tongue action. Tinnitus.
So they broke up because, like we talked about, loud, crazy band you shouldn't do if you want to have your hearing. And
by the way, if anybody looks up early live footage, Roger's wearing basically the headphones that you're wearing right now. He's wearing giant cans, dude. Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, that made me sad. He almost looks autistic. Like this place is kind of nerdy, he has the glasses, but like, that's like, that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. Like, I know a few people, like I think my uncle is another musician who's like, damn, his hearing is fucking shot. Mm-hmm. So I've always been very wary of that and kind of paranoid.
But he would focus on like a quieter band called Bird Songs of Mosaic.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called. And then I don't know if there's some development that allowed, some sort of ear protection that allowed them to reunite, but they did in 22. And that.
You mean 2002?
Or, sorry. All these. There's
too many numbers.
Too many numbers. It's not nice and clean, like 90s, 80s.
Yeah.
It's just, repeated numbers. But once we get to the 30s, I'll be good.
Okay.
But so 02, Swoop didn't come back though, so they bought in this guy Bob Weston to do.
Bob Weston, that's
from
Shellac.
Right?
Yeah. He's also a producer for Electrical Audio, along with Steve Albini, bass player, interesting guy, good songwriter. So he's on bass? Not stupid. No. He's on tape effects, whatever, doodly doos.
Yeah, tapes and loops, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you can like use the computer if you want." And he's like, "No, I'm going old school, baby." Of course.
He works at Electrical Audio. Of course, he's gonna use fucking reel to reels. You fucking caveman. Sorry, I like him, but that happened, and now there we are. Oh, this one, by the way, is not streaming. Did you find it streaming?
It's on Spotify. It's not on Apple.
What the fuck, dude? This keeps happening.
I don't know why we haven't switched.
I feel really stupid having not switched after how much shit we talked about Apple and how much we've praised Spotify like repeatedly. But this is, I guess, streaming only on Spotify. This is 2004's On, Off, On.
So I don't feel like this is a bad return.
No, not at all.
But yes, now the vocals are different because they're older men.
Older and also better protection.
Yes. Older, wiser.
Yeah. All right, solid song. You get the idea.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. Also, you get some Peter Prescott singing now too.
Oh, that's right. Which song is that?
The Enthusiast. I feel like he has like snarlier vocals, which works when they do some of the hard hitting stuff. So that song kind of works for me.
Yeah, it's. I think the song is fine. But I didn't find a lot of it. I mean, again, I had the same problem with this as I do with a lot of them. Inconsistent moments that I really like, but overall, like, all right. It drags a lot. This is a long album.
I was a little worried that maybe we'd get some sort of just like shouldn't have got back together thing here.
I was worried as well, but I didn't hate it though. So I was like, it could definitely be a lot worse. It's not that bad. I mean, Yeah, I mean, you always go in with this kind of pit in your stomach with a reunion band to begin with.
Mm-hmm. I think towards the end, I like the end of the album more than the beginning.
Yeah.
Like the strings Unprepared are really beautiful.
Dude, those arrangements, man. God damn. So like at that point, I was so fucking refreshed because like I complained again like about it being very samey, like the pacing seems off, and then you throw in something just completely unexpected like that, and I get very excited. The same with Wounded World. The strings on it are fucking awesome. Beautiful.
Yeah, the guitar playing too, just fucking not prepared for songs like that.
Yeah.
Also, it's not really obvious on the first two recordings, like the tape loops and stuff, but like Max Ernst's Dream, you do hear like the tape loops and stuff are bought more forward.
I did. That song bummed me out. I thought it was a huge letdown given the name had Max Ernst in it.
Yeah, it's really not enough to carry it, but it's just an example of like, okay, this stuff will be kind of front and center here and there. Nicotine Bomb, pretty wild. Like
Nicotine Bomb.
It's like there's some country stuff. Right. Yeah, there's some math rock stuff and fucking carnival music. It's song, a wild ride.
So I had a weird reaction when I first heard that. Like, I feel like it really channels a ton of what I love about the early stuff. And it doesn't really sound like it. It just feels, that song to me felt like the natural evolution of what they were already doing. Where it was still crazy, but it had fucking just memorable hooks and it was really fun. And it just felt like them again. That song is great. Love that song.
And then, Playland, just aggressive, weird, catchy riffs. Like that's, what the band does.
Yeah.
And all this is like at the end of the album. It's crazy.
And the same with like Absent Mind, which is the closer. It's the right combination of hooky and noisy. It's just them being the best at that. And that's the main reason why I was kind of bummed with this one. Fuck, man, my scroller was going crazy. I can't keep my notes on track. This felt more like a really fucking good EP that got way too long. Like there's a lot of fat on here.
That's a good way to put it. That's an excellent way to put it. I think also like looking at the reviews, I think people were just so drunk and happy to have them back. They were like fucking flawless. It's not
flawless, man. But it does have a ton of great songs. It's just not an easy listen. It's long and inconsistent and it has pacing issues again. But where it shines. And that's ultimately how I feel about them. Like they are not a singles band, but if people were accepting of them, they would be a great singles band.
Yeah.
So that was they're back. Now they're back and they have a lot more albums to go. Well, a few, but still they're back. And now we're on to, unless you have anything else to add.
I do not.
All right. And then we are on to, fuck man, I can't. Where am I? Come on. Where is it? There we go. Now 2006's The Obliterati. That is my bad. My volume was turned down. Let me try that again.
So, I feel like the previous album until the end, they picked the wrong opening tracks on every album. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I enjoy the drumming on this track, but it just kind of feels lackluster. It's not a good
opener. I like it. I think this song is decent in like an old Beatles kind of way for some reason. It just reminds me of that. Yeah, like that vocal line somehow reminds me of just old 60s music. Actually, yeah, this.
Oh, I can hear it.
Yeah, that's very 60s. But I think it's cool. It's cute.
Yeah, and even though I threw that track under the bus, and I might get some shit for this, I think this is their best album.
This is a great fucking album. I don't blame you. I'm glad that there's some love for this, because I had no idea this album was this album. It's real good.
This is one of those discographies where I had to think about, what does the best mean? Is it the flow? Is it the catchiness? And with this band, I came down to the playing, and I think their playing on this album is just phenomenal. Like Spider's Web, way better than Twice. And then I'm gonna need you to play some Donna Samaria.
Donna Samaria. Ooh,
that song
will. Here we go.
And we're not even going to do the song justice. This is a taste, because it goes. It's pretty epic.
Indeed.
Like the bass is just fucking rad.
Yeah. Like, even though you didn't care much for the opening track, Twice, but for me, by the end of this song, I was like, these are already some of the most interesting songs they've ever written.
That's another thing they win in. At the end of the day, I think this is a very, very interesting album. And it's like their longest too, which rarely. Usually on this podcast, long is usually bad, but not here. Not here. Fuck. And now it's like a Weezer song.
I know.
It's fucking good. It's so good.
Those are great hooks. Those are great vocal lines. God damn it. Yeah.
Oh man. And then like Let Yourself Go, I'm like, what is this album?
Yeah.
Because that song's also fucking weird, and it's just like, bands don't get older and get interesting, but
very rarely.
They did. So
actually, you mentioned. Go ahead, keep going.
Oh, it may not be what fans of the first two recordings are looking for.
No,
but I don't think anyone can fault them for trying new things.
This is the evolution. This is the way it should be going. And you mentioned on a previous album some westernness. I got that heavy from 13.
Ooh, 13. Dang.
Very nice.
I just 13 is, there's like spacey delayed guitar. It kind of also flows seamlessly into Man in Decline. 13 is one of my favorite.
Yeah, Man in Decline is also I kind of often forget how good it is because it transitions so seamlessly into it. Like, I always forget that it's even a separate song.
Yeah, it's technically the weaker of the two, but I kind of just view them as one song.
Yeah,
so, oh man.
So I still have problems here. I still have a couple problems, and crap, I keep losing my fucking place. Jesus Christ. And that is 1001 Pleasant Dreams, I think, is too basic for its own good.
Which one?
1001 Pleasant Dreams.
Oh, yeah. Not a strong trick.
And I also think Birthday and Period could have also been cut.
I like Period. That feels like them doing Sgt. Pepper's, the song, not the whole album, obviously.
Right.
Like,
interesting.
Like, to me, that's like the Burma version of Sgt. Pepper's.
Mm-hmm. I think my main problem with, especially that song, is there's some fatigue toward the end of the album. Like, you notice the really strong ones, like Nancy Reagan's Head, which is like super fucking strong.
Dude, the guitar riff too.
Yeah. And hearing that contrasting with something a lot more straightforward, like Birthday, where like you could have done without Birthday, made the album shorter, made it more consistent. That's again why I have to like, all right, it's not a perfect album, but it still has some fucking bangers.
Also, I love when they do instrumentals. Like, I love the Mutes Speak Out. It's just
Wait, where am I? Which one's that?
It's track 11.
Okay. Let me see.
Yeah, maybe you want to throw it on to jog your memory a little.
I think I do. It is. Yeah, this is the Mute Speaks Out.
I just think they're so, I don't know. When they do instrumentals, this usually home runs for me.
Yeah.
And again, like what a crazy evolution for.
Yeah. This album made me real happy that they were really just taking I don't want to say taking chances because it doesn't sound like they're going crazy here, but it is like, yeah, this is where it should have gone. Like the direction they were going. It was just smarter songwriting, smarter arrangements, better production.
Yeah, anytime I feel like it would lose me, like with Birthday or Pleasant Dreams, it just hooked me back in, and for the most part, it doesn't lose its legs. It just, there's not a flawless one, but I just think their playing is so great and diverse on this album. So
in a nutshell, this doesn't sound like a reunion band, which is the highest of compliments.
Yes.
The highest of compliments. But Alex is best. Underrated, man. I never hear about this one. It's worth going back to. So,
yes, I would be excited to listen to it casually and not for the podcast in the future.
Again, another highest of compliments, given how much shit we sit down and listen to every day. But we are moving on. Yeah, a couple more left. This is 2009's The Sound, The Speed, The Light. Come on. There we go. Come on.
And again, not a good opening track.
I mean, it's not really, but I think it's a fun song.
Just because it's 1, 2, 3 party, like what else are you're not going to put that at the end.
No. It also doesn't really sound like them or anything they've done. It
doesn't even sound like a party song, but
no.
I guess this is kind of like representative of the album, though.
It kind of is. I think it's more interesting than the rest of the album, honestly. So also, it gets funners, but let's talk.
Worst, least favorite.
I'm surprised how much we're agreeing here. This is fuck, man. This was rough.
Yeah, because I'm like drunk off the Obliterati. Like, let's keep the good times rolling. And then, okay, that sucks, but your opening tracks usually suck. And then Possession's better.
It's fine. But,
yeah, and then like Blunder, there's like one weird computer part in there, and I'm like, that should be the whole song, but it's only
it's just grasping at straws on that one.
Briefly, there's no way it could be a full song, but
I know, but like just trying to find something to enjoy about it. I mean,
I think I will say, Forget Yourself. I think that song's beautiful.
Really,
that is like almost kind of worth this album happening. I think that's like one of their best songs.
So that's how I felt about Feed. I hated Forget Yourself.
I didn't.
You like Feed?
Swap. We reversed it. I don't like Feed.
I love Feed.
on feed I could hear the REM shit on there.
Oh,
so not for me.
I think they're just good chord changes. I think they're interesting progressions that I wasn't expecting. But pretty much every song on here I could go without ever hearing ever again.
They don't feel like they're giving it their all here.
No.
There will be interesting things, but they don't really do anything with it. It's just kind of there.
Yeah, like there's maybe like a few things here and there that I'm like, oh, that was cool. But after like there's this harmonized intro between, I think it's guitar and bass. I'm pretty obviously guitar and bass. Harmonized outro, but it's at the very end of the whole song, and I hate the whole song. It's like this isn't the whole song. After the Rain.
Oh, okay.
So it's like this one little cool part that literally ends a song. It's like 5 seconds long, and then that's what I mean. Like little things like that. Whereas I could just do without most of it. And another thing, like them going uber ugly, Slow Faucet. It's so ugly. It's so ugly in a bad way. Like
I think Slow Faucet's one of the better songs on here for sure. I got my hopes up for Good Cheer because we kind of talked about how they can have like a Western vibe to them. But then this goes into high energy punk, which is fine. But then like, why tease me with that cool like Western?
Yeah, it's all fine. The thing is, it's just like it's just so samey. Where at least the last few, like they threw in a fucking novel thing there with these crazy strings or this really ballady type. Like there's nothing like that. There's very little actual diversity here. It feels very much like falling back on the easiest thing for them, which is alti punk stuff that ultimately doesn't really scratch any itch of mine.
Yeah, like a weird song, SSL 83.
Yeah.
I can't put words, but it doesn't sit right with me. It just feels off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't stand it. Man, it's like it's such a total regression from the last album. Like that's why
it really is.
It's a bummer as well as an overall not enjoyable album. It's like be bad, but be bad when you're already bad. Don't be bad after you were really fucking good. Like what's happening? Yeah. Why? How did this happen? What changed? Did someone lose a loved one? I don't understand. What so, yeah, it's more boring than horrific, I would say, but still, like, again, it's still disappointing. Feel no inclination to ever hear it more than once. I did, but I didn't want to hear it that second time.
Yeah, very disappointing.
So worst, least favorite for both of us, and we got one more. We're here. This is 2012's Unsound. Weird opener.
Going into like the dancey aspects of the band, yeah. Also,
it almost looks like a dive bar band playing this.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Yeah.
Also on Apple, this is under compilations for no reason.
That's right. Yeah. I had to search it for Apple.
It's actually on there. You just have to go to compilations, and even though it's new original music, but
I don't understand this. I don't understand Apple at all. I'll never understand it. Okay. Weird song. Holy shit, man.
Yeah, this is more like this should have been after Obliterati, because it's okay, and then like the downfall would have made more sense.
Yes, this is definitely in the downward trajectory. Yes. Not great, but better than the last one.
Yes,
even if marginally.
This is peak okay album.
This is their most okay album, I would say. This is not.
Yes.
It does not cross the line into pretty good. It is not there. But it does have some pretty good stuff. Some really bad stuff, but like semi-pseudo sort of plan. That again, those bass lines, like that's what we love about them. Those fucking crazy, distinct, really prominent bass lines. Love that song. But other things, like I was complaining the last time where they're like, I like one thing about a song and the rest of it, like Second Television is that for me, where it's not bad. It has cool harmonies, but there's so much ugliness in there, and there's so much I could just. I
think that's one of those songs where it starts off weak, but then
the song just played by itself. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. Second Television. Yeah, sorry, I wrote my notes wrong. Second Television starts off pretty weak, but it did win me over in the end. It does like turn into something different. So
yeah, it's fine.
I like
it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like by the time you hit like Sectionals and Morning and This Is Hi-Fi, like those, even if they're not the best songs, they're more interesting than the previous album.
I can't stand Sectionals and Morning. But it's also representative of this whole thing, which as an album, it feels way more straightforward and punky than ever. It's produced in a way more live type feel. This I can imagine being produced by Bob Weston. It has where it sounds like they just played it in one take, that kind of thing. It sounds good, but like it's very lively. It's very raw in that aspect. But it's also, again, very samey, very samey.
Fell into H2O though. That's some really cool, hard hitting, kind of funky.
I didn't like it at first, and then the second time around, I was like, "Yep, no, it's some good guitar stuff, some real cool guitar stuff." I was probably just fatigued on the first listen. I wasn't, having it. But that one's good, and I also still like what They Tell Me and Opener. Both of those.
Opener, ironically, is a great little closer.
It's a great little closer. Is it instrumental, right? No, it's not. It's not. It's just takes a minute to start up.
Yeah, I think the best song on here is Adding Unison.
Really?
Again, going back to they're a compressed like punk prog rock. Like I think there's some great little sections. Like you have them, and then it's on to the next one. That song, I think,
is. I found it more interesting and performed well more than I liked it as a song. So it's still noted as a highlight, just because like at least they're still good, At least they're still like really like trying shit.
They can still play. There's not really. I don't really get the sense that they ever like rested on their loins too much. They're never like try to make. This is my revolver again.
Never. That's surprising too.
Yeah, like it's just like, this is what we sound like now. This is what we want to play, and I respect that. And even though I think for the most part it's okay.
It is, yeah. It's okay. It's not great, but could be worse, and it was worse. So it's technically a step up, at least that. But.
End on a slightly higher note than you could have.
This is as lukewarm of an ending as it could possibly get.
Yes.
It's over, I guess. But still, interesting band. I'm glad we tackled them. What happened? Did they officially break up? What's the deal? What's going on?
They officially... What did they stop? They stopped, like, doing shit... I don't know when they like stopped touring, but it was official June of last year, 2020.
Really? That's soon.
Yeah.
Or that recently. Huh.
Yeah. So, won't be doing a loose ends with this one anytime soon. I still find it to be a bummer. Like I still like them. Like I said, I would like to see Old Men Mission of Burma play live. I don't know. Maybe they'll be like, yeah, that pandemic was shitty. We should play again.
Yeah, honestly, and it's not like, I mean, all kinds of bands just stay together for touring purposes only. You don't got to release new shit. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. But fun band. So let's recap.
So for me, versus personal favorite, best Obliterati. And then worst, least favorite, The Sound, The Speed, The Light.
And for me, best personal favorite, Signals, Calls, and Marches EP. Worst, least favorite, sound, the speed, the light. I think it's that. I would be very, very concerned if people had problems with our picks. Come on, man. Go fuck yourself if you had a problem with our picks. I think we're being very, very
it's
fair.
the internet. It's the internet. Yeah. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
And actually, I kind of embrace it. So welcome aboard if you're new, and goodbye, because you're not going to be here that long. But
also, we're called Every Album Ever. You're gonna come back
at some point.
We're gonna do something you like. Again.
I don't know, man. I've pissed off a lot of people for sure.
Have you have?
I think we both have for sure. But I think
equal. Yeah, that's why it's a partnership.
Indeed, we spread the hate. We distribute it evenly. I think my hot takes have come from more beloved artists. My hate. So I think that's the only reason why it sticks out more.
I don't know. Fuck people. You want the same old like VH1 50 greatest hard rock bands? Dude, like,
oh my god,
fucking yeah. Go watch like those old VH1 specials from like the early 2000s, or pick up an issue of Rolling Stone. Then I don't.
Dude, I fucking was recently at my dad's, and he's an old hippie, so he has all those shows playing in the background. And
I feel like Access TV is the station that does that now.
So they're garbage. But like the one that was on was like the top 10 greatest folk songs. It's like, already I'm mad, dude. I don't respect a list of 10 folk songs already. And it's like, it's just enraging because it's like every played to death bullshit radio song you could possibly imagine. Like every single one was like, we need to squeeze in this song that everybody's heard 10 goddamn thousand times. We have to squeeze in there somewhere. And it's like,
who is it benefiting at this point?
It's not benefiting anybody. It's just people are like, oh, I like that. I know that song. I like that song. It's just for fucking morons who don't want to hear anything new. It's just, oh God, it makes me fucking literally nauseous. So we'll have none of that here. We'll have none of that. We'll just be shitting on legends. Jimi Hendrix is overrated, and whatever else that we said. Like, that was awful. Whatever. But thank you so much for listening and watching. If you want to actually support us after everything we just said, please subscribe on youtube.com/everyalbumever. Give us some thumbs ups and all that, and, share, whatever. You can rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you get podcasts pretty much. You can follow me at Pope Jesse Ventura and at Pander Monkey, and Alex at
Mother Puncture.
And Spotify playlist on Mission of Burma. You could find a link in the description of wherever you're listening or watching, as well as everyalbumever.com. There we got links to merch, playlists with it associated with every other episode, whatever. Patreon.com/everyalbumever for bonus episodes, early access to a bunch of different episodes, discounts off merch. Jump in the line if you want to suggest an artist. And, other than that, we will love you more. We'll love you way more, and we'll be happier, and we'll eat more. And I can finally replace my fucking laptop in a way that will actually help the podcast. This has been a nightmare, but yeah, it will be done soon. I fucking hope. So thank you, everyone. Who's getting last song?
You are, no doubt.
And I already know my heart what we're going to listen to right now. And we're going to listen to a little bit of Red from Signals, Calls, and Marches.
Oh,
indeed. So thank you so much for listening and watching, everybody. See ya.